Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to revisit the Onda V919 Air, which I reviewed about a month ago. So the first thing I noticed about the Onda V919 Air is the long loading time. I don't know if that's normal for a tablet, however I'll show you a full video of the boot time and the laggy startup animation.
3 hours later. One eternity later.
There are these lines you notice in the screen when the display is turned off and sometimes visible when the display is turned on. This may be due to the cheap manufacturing materials, and this may bother some people, causing it to become a deal breaker. Another thing I mentioned in my review is the rear camera not being in the center, and here is what I mean by that. As you can see, it is positioned slightly to the left. In terms of speed, I experienced minimal lagging and crashing, although when it comes to battery life, the 7200 mAh battery finds it hard to keep up when it has its fair share of use on Windows mode. Matter of fact, the Onda seems to misbehave when it comes to terms with the battery life. If you find yourself switching between operating systems more often, you can expect some decrease in the battery life. However, the Onda sometimes can confusingly go from full battery to none at all whilst turned off. Onda does not recommend to charge the tablet whilst in use, otherwise it can seriously affect the life of the battery. Another thing to mention, you cannot unlock the device using the Windows button. It only works in Windows mode. When in Android mode, you have to press the power button. Certain times the power button had a delayed response in turning the display on, causing me to press it multiple times, leading the display to just switch back off. Another thing to be aware of is the touchscreen calibration in Windows mode sometimes becomes way off, meaning when you touch the screen in a certain area, the touch will register in a totally different place on the screen. Apart from the display and dodgy battery life, I still wouldn't recommend to use the mic or camera on this tablet. But this tablet, still with the specs it has, it can actually handle some decent gaming such as GTA 4 using Windows mode and other great stuff, but just keep an eye on the battery life and heat of the tablet. In Windows mode, the tablet gives you all access to do whatever you want, including installing and using programs such as Photoshop smoothly. Anyways, I still think the Onda V919 Air is a great tablet for the price, however the flaws on it can make it a pain to use at sometimes, causing it to become a deal breaker for some. That's it from me guys, hope you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. See you next time.